And welcome back, my friends. It's the show that never ends. A hearty hello and a hi-yo silver from all of us here at Corked Stats, fastest freaking show in MLB, absolutely anywhere. Which helm board on this freaky Friday, getting freaking DK with it. What's up, everybody? Haven't slept, and we're not going to let that slow us down a bit. I was up in the Source Network chair last night, so I'm feeling pretty good. We've already gone over this. Good morning, bienvenidos to all the new listeners and the usual suspects up in the crew. No, I saw BGC, Rose, Bay, No Block, and Sam. A couple others in there. Really do appreciate you supporting the show. No one quite doing it like us. Man, this shit ain't madness, baby.
This is Sparta!
You fucking tell them, Leonidas, mother effers. All right, who am I? The girl named Sugar. Follow me up on Twitter at John Magaza Flow, sharpening a damn razor. Same handle over on Substack, burning the candle on both ends. I really try and stay modest. The NFL team level stuff came out so beautifully. I am so proud of it. It's freaking awesome. The feedback has been incredible. It really is incredible. It's downright flattering. Hit me up. Check it out. Pin post on Substack. You can look it up for free. I'm going to update that because it's missing some of the new stuff. Just whatever. If you're like a 1/3 serious about this shit, how is all this data not worth $2 a week, baseball and football included? Come on, man. Doing the thing we do. Me and you, the Cork Stats crew, enough of that bullshit, right? And more than enough of that bullshit. Ooh, best part of waking up. Pitching sheets are up in the mug. I feel like I got to go where it is. There she blows. All right, we got 15 today on the docket. Trent, good to see you. Jeff L, my boy, plus money. Pat McGuan, Jagfish, and Zoe Bryant. Yo, appreciate everybody. Man, the myth, the legend. Let's freaking go, man. Yeah. Let's freaking go. All right, let's do this thing. Let me get my banner set and this shit ain't gonna analyze itself. One early game today, fantasy crew. Make sure you have your lineup set. It's Mr. Freedom, Matty Libertor on the bump. He's a huge underdog, plus 170 dog on the road to Clay Pigeon Holmes and the Baby Bears. Very heavy favorites. I was a little bit shocked. I mean, listen, Holmes is okay, but I think coming back from that injury, he should not have that price hung on him. That feels a little bit heavy for me. And Libertor has been pretty good down the stretch, if I'm not mistaken. Again, we know the beginning of the year has been rough. You don't get to a 5 ERA through 113 innings without it. But lately, man, he's getting his punchies. 390 expected ERA last 30. Sierra down below 3 3/4, 17 KBB. Holmes looked kind of shitty in that first outing. And again, I think he's good, and I think he'll be fine. But I'm not really sure what we're doing here. Cardinals have hit, righties last 2 weeks. Above average, more or less across the board. Maybe a little bit of in-zone losses. But that's not really, Holmes' strong suit. Cubs versus have hit lefties, right? That's been a strong split all year. Now, I haven't been believing it, which is also why I'm poor right now. But I just don't think the price is right. Oh, see what I did there? So I'm just not really seeing it, man. You can see on the board, I've got this one like technically modeled for a Cubs win. But shit, man, I've got this almost close to even. I'm just not buying it. Wind blowing in also at Wrigley, keeping the totals down at 4 and 8. I like the Cardinals to win. You can see I've got I should have put I like to be clear. Those are my Source Show picks. You can see those are up from last night. I updated a couple that maybe I got swayed on, so I didn't mislead anybody. But at first, I had mentioned taking Cardinals on the run line, very last thing. And Toast and Kyle rightfully made fun of me. Actually, I'm sorry. Take that back. Walk it back. Kyle's told me to do my thing, and Toast made fun of me. Kyle's always very good with that, kidding aside, about there's no right or wrong providing the math is in line, right? If your edge calculations are in line, that's the one and only thing that matters. To that point, for me, it's always a price argument, which is strange. The run line was cheaper last night, even though the money line price has gotten better, which is right a little bit unusual. Meaning, last night, this one was listed. Oh, you know what? It's back down to plus 150. That plus 175, whatever, is gone. I know I saw it this morning, I think, on FanDuel. But anyway, I had like the run line at minus 130. That's now at minus 145. I'm not taking it there. So if you were listening to the show, you could see I moved it to the money line. Give me Cardinals to win this one. I wonder even the F5 might be nice, right? If we think we're going to jump on, if we think you're going to jump on Holmes, MGM does not have that listed. All right, whatever. Let's just move that shit on. Next up, it's the Marlins and the Reds. Sandy Alcantara on the bump for the mighty Marlins. They're even money on the road against C. Montgomery Burns, looking to pitch excellent against the Redlegs. Minus 111 at the crib. Reds have the bullpen emoji. And I mention that because I think that might be the difference maker for me. Cincinnati, Antone, Burke, Johnson, and May, all 2 of 3. Garcia and Mole back-to-back. Reds bullpen not very good in the first place. Now, granted, what's his face is not on the list. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the Reds closer. It'll come to me in a second. Anyway, even though the closer is available, I don't know how deep you're going to get. So I ended up on the fence on this one. I gave out Cincinnati. I stopped liking the price when the bullpen came up because I have this so close. Maybe I like the under. I don't know. I'm a sucker for Burns. So when I saw this price for Burns at home minus 115, I was like, yes, sir. But maybe the more I look at it, maybe I'm more under the 8, just really quick. I mean, both of these guys have been phenomenal. And Sandy in particular down the stretch, where Burns has had some struggles at home, as good as he is, I would still have him throttle the 4-seam usage. I'd be like, dude, I don't give a shit. And you can see all the splits are, kind of strong. Let me get to the home road. That's where I was mentioning the, Burns, yeah, you see the 220 ERA, but the XFIP at 4.25 and the last 30 days have just been a half a step back. I'm not trying to bury my guy Burns. I like him. But Alcantara's been phenomenal. 164 ERA, sub 1 whip. Expected ERA at 315. It's just, I'm like on the fence here. Miami just lost Kyle Stowers. You got to think they have the better offense right now. You can see that bearing out in the numbers, last 14 v righties. And last 7 for the Reds have been really disgraceful. Now, something we were mentioning on the show before we move on, you really don't want to be weighing, especially overweighing L7. However, discipline freaking matters, man. That shit matters. Or here, I should say, Kyle kind of validate that. Even in small samples, the one thing that you'll see kind of sticks is the disciplinary stuff, which for the Reds have been really bad. So between the discipline and the bullpen, I think I'm coming off the Reds. So for me, it's either the Marlins at plus money or we're on Miami and Cincy FG U8. Again, with the runs at a premium. But yeah, I've got to backtrack on the Red Legs a little bit. Next up, looks like Red Sox and Pirates. Red Laundry have Jake Bennett on the bump, minus 134, dog down in Steel City to face my boy, Bubba Chandler. And the Pirates. Buckos plus 125 at the crib. I've been a Bubba Chandler stan this entire way. I have looked, what is the word? It's really poor. That, however, is the crux of the argument here. Pittsburgh very vocal about having Chandler kind of focus on the command and control. 2 games ago, he walked a bunch of Brewers. That's what the Brewers do. They don't swing. I think 3 of his other last 4 starts have only had 1 walk. So I'm getting to a point where I'm kind of wheels up. I'm getting wheels up on Chandler, but Bennett is kind of goated. He's been one of the better road pitchers like in the league, Jake Bennett, that is. And Pittsburgh v. lefties, the split is pretty fucking horrendous. They haven't hit lefties at all. The Pirates we've been talking about suffering so many injuries on the offense, and in particular to the right-handed bats, leaving all the lefties. So it's been pretty brutal. You could see that's been very unforgiving. Too many strikeouts, too many swings and misses, and just a 4% barrel rate and 365 PAs against Southpaws. Looking pretty rough for the Pirates. Red Sox offense v righties last 2 weeks has started to hum a little bit. Got to give credit where the credit is due. It's always a little less believable for me. Again, losing in zone, not good elevation, not a lot of hard hit balls. That's not really the best way to do it. Also, I did a little mini lesson at the end of the episode yesterday. I always love to get these things out there to the public because, again, a lot of the fucking baseball analysts are stupid. You know what I mean? Like we can't. All right, let's do the quick. Every Friday this happens, right? I have to go off the rails a little bit because I'm like on the edge. When I'm on the edge of nowhere. I'm always going to be like, half ready to fucking rant. We're very clear, right, about the majority of baseball analysts, pretty much outside of the Source crew, maybe my guy Trigger, just a few other heads. My guy Dream, sharp. I think Danny is sharp. I think Stewie is sharp. And Jay, past the prop, I think they're sharp. But there's not a lot of them out there. Past the prop guys especially, I need to shout them out more. I connected with Stewie yesterday, and I was like, reunited, and it feels so good. Make sure you follow Monotone Football. 1L, my guy is fucking goated for sure. He cares about you. You know what I mean? Like, he really does. He cares about you. But the majority of popular analysts, that's what I should have said. None of us are as popular as we should be for good reason, right? The sports books are going to give you Kevin Hart. They're going to give you the fucking filter queen. That's what they're going to give you. Something that looks easy on the eyes, but rough on the fucking wallet. So even if they quote the stuff we're talking about, you could bet your ass to your elbow that they can't fucking explain it. So there's a really good probability that they're going to either misframe, and which is always going to mislead. Sometimes these yo-yos get it right accidentally, but it's not, I assure you, it's not on purpose. So we were doing I was trying to explain just a little bit of the nuance and some of the stats that I quote every once in a while. I keep getting new listeners. Thank you. So it is important to kind of go over this stuff. And this is not to call out Kyle or Toast at all, but because they're so sharp, instead of being like, oh, I was calling out WRC plus, it's not as good of a descriptor as xWOBA. First of all, WOBA it is like written in the stars. WOBA is going to test out with the best correlation to run scoring. So the best way to get to WOBA is with expected WOBA and not WRC plus. WRC plus, weighted runs created plus, is a very good metric. It's a good shorthand. However, the more I kind of look at all this stuff, the less I believe in it. To me, it's very backward looking. And when I said that, Kyle's eyebrows immediately went up. Again, super sharp, cares about the things that matter. And that is one of the things that matter. So we've noticed that when I say backward looking, I mean output focused. High BABIPs can lead to average, which can lead to runs, which can spike your WRC plus without underpinning stuff, where you're not going to fool xWOBA. Where the filter queens and the other fucking knuckle dragging, bowl cut fucking idiots live are using it as a damage metric. xWOBA, not a damage metric. Not a damage metric. xWOBA includes OBA, OBA, on base average. You could have a spiked walk rate with poor contact quality, have a really good xWOBA. That dog don't hunt. The reason it works for teams is those walks count for us. I should have mentioned with the hitters, people use xWOBA to try and get the player props. Yeah, Juan Soto is going to have a crazy xWOBA. He happens to have a good hard hit rate. But there's not enough swing and contact to justify what you're thinking that xWOBA describes. So it's very important. That's why I split it to xWOBAcon. And again, why this shit is just absolutely worth the fucking cost of admission. That 350 xWOBAcon, that's what xCon is. xWOBA isolated to contact only at 350 is not jiving at all. Like at all. Here, check it out. And then we'll move on, I promise. I don't have WRC plus, so I split that. Again, it's like a proprietary formula. I don't have it split. However, right, Boston 125 WRC plus last 14 days. However, it's like a bottom 5 hard hit rate. They chase too much. They don't barrel the ball. What have they done? Hit for average on a high BABIP, scored a ton of runs. I'm not trying to bury their Bo Sox as like some fucking Yankee homerism here. But again, when we get on our high horse and the soapbox, about teaching lessons, you're damn right I'm going to fucking drive it home. You're damn fucking right. That's what we do, man. That's what we do.
Spartans! What is your profession?
You know, our profession is getting it right and being fucking sharp. So sorry to take you on Mr. Toad's wild ride right there. But I think it's really important. And it's why I have these stats. They're not for our health. Use xWOBA as a descriptor, xCon to describe damage. Okay. So the reason I wanted to get to that in my circuitous manner, you know, newsflash, I fucking talk too much, was I wanted to get to the under, look at the bullpens. Both bullpens have been fantastic. So I think the 8 is entirely too high. Because I'm buying a little bit low on Chandler. He doesn't have to be fantastic. I do like Bennett. I like both pens. I'm not a fan of either offense. So fucking kaboom. Appreciates you all right there. B Custom, good to see you, player. Mr. Toronto, good morning. Plus Money thinks Sandy gets the shutdown today. Yeah, I'm on it. Caleb G, appreciate you. Jeff L, are you saying the Filter Queen and the Chief Jiggle Officer are not good cappers? Honestly, I wouldn't know because I'm watching it on fucking mute. All right. Hi-oh. All right. That's a fucking right. Is that more than enough? All right. That was more than enough. Let's see. Next up, looks like we got White Sox and Tigers. Sean Newcomb, Duke Nukem on the bump for the Pale Hose plus 137. Heavy Dogs on the road in Detroit Rock City to face a Jackson Book of Job and the Tigres minus 147 at the crib. I was the only person taking the donkey route here, and I have Detroit for a kill shot. I don't think Newcomb is good. I also don't think he's going to go distance, and then I don't think the White Sox have an answer. Tiger bullpen has been phenomenal. Even if we're not going to get Jansen, they've been really good. The offense is hitting. Oh, sorry. You know what's funny? I thought I made all these red. My mistake. I had Urquidy last night, and it got switched to Newcomb, so I have to flip to red so we know he's got a lefty. Oh, the bullpen, that's why. Anyway, the Detroit has hit lefties pretty well. Again, I don't even know what we're expecting from Newcomb. Meanwhile, Job, like former 3rd overall pick, all the arm talent you could want. We were just waiting for him to be healthy. He came out in the first game. Velo was good. Pitch mix was good, and he fucking dominated. I'm not sure this one. I like the Tigers as part of a blend bet. Wish I had taken the blend yesterday. I didn't. I took the fucking coward's way out with Boston and Texas. Boston got home and covered. Detroit got fucking shellacked by the Angels. The Angels have killed me this fucking week. Texas was too expensive, and I should have known it. Anyway, I don't think that about Detroit. Minus 147. I have a modeled for a full run, which is, again, when we start thinking about the fucking blend move. Next up, I got Nationals and Mets on the board. Andrew Alvarez, AA on Anderson on the bump for the Nationals, the enforcer. Up in Queens to face Robert Lockstock and 2 Smoking Barrels, going for the Let's Go Mets Go, minus 115 at the crib. Alvarez has been pitching well. I also liked what we saw from Robert Stock, and he went out and gave up like fucking 8 earned last time out. He's old. However, and I mentioned this on the show last night, he's like uber analytical, like hyper analytical. He's not doing it right now because he's playing for a team, but you could check his fucking Twitter feed. He was modeling, and I saw pretty much inherent flaws. Again, I don't think he's a mathematician. I don't know how bright he is, but he's trying really hard. And now he's hooked up again with the team. Mets are big in R&D. I wouldn't be tossing dirt on this guy after one start. I think he could be okay. That said, I think the 8.5 is too low. I think somebody collapses here. Alvarez has been better. He's been better, but the underpinning stuff is not really there to back it up. That same time frame, 3.10 ERA. He's got a 5.40 Sierra, 2.5 KBB. And again, we mentioned Stock. It could be the little girl with the curl. Could be really good or really, really bad. The one thing I do feel confident in with Stock is that you're not going to get a lot of distance. And this is going to get turned over to bullpens kind of early. I think we got some good hitting weather. It didn't get the emoji. Like, it's not going to be high 80s. But we got good hitting weather. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of smashing over, and it didn't seem like there was a lot of love for that. Just out of curiosity, line hasn't moved. Book kind of showing a little bit of uncertainty, if you ask me. Right, 8.5 minus 112 is like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. So I think that's where I'm at. For me, I think it's over or nothing, and then I'm going to just move it on from there. This next one, I don't know. If you're going to fade any game, it really should be this one. I'm not even sure if the starters are confirmed yet. I was waiting and waiting and waiting. Oh, you son of a bitch. This can't be right. All right. I had the Basset Hound returning as a plus 147 dog to Steven Matz and the Flat Fucking Fish of Florida. The reason I mentioned that is because now I'm seeing Bradish plus money Pap. Yeah. Gotta love the Four Horsemen stuff. You know, I'm a huge wrestling hunk. I was off it for like 20 something years, but now my son kind of likes it a little bit. I'm more like the old stuff, and like I like the broadcasting part of it. That's why I try and take my broadcasting cues from Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse Ventura. To me, that was one of the great two-man booths of all time, regardless of sport. Anyway, now I'm seeing Kyle Bradish, and now I'm seeing Kyle Bradish, and the price hasn't moved. Shit. Kyle Bradish as a plus 140 dog to Steven Matz feels fundamentally wrong. When have we even seen Matt? Where have you been? Like, where the fuck is this guy? I had to check the game log. Give me 1 second. Oh, he's been relieving. Matt's pitched an inning 2 days ago. So the Rays are like a minus 160 favorite against Kyle Bradish in Baltimore. I know Bradish has maybe been on the wrong side of disappointing, but that feels like a massive misprice. I'm trying to get it confirmed before I go any harder. But let me just check one more spot. Yeah, I'm getting confirmation from sports books and fantasy websites, which normally means that. So you're gonna have to forgive me. I'll re-rack the algo again. You know, it's a lot of moving pieces here. I whatever. I do the fucking best I can with what little brains the good Lord gave me. So yeah, give me Baltimore as a really heavy dog. I think they win this one in a bullpen game. Listen. I know the Rays are a little bit of a wagon at home. That price is. I think it's wrong. Next up, El Rey. Michael King going for the Friar Tucks plus 120 dog down in Forest City to face my boy G Dub, Gavin Williams, and the Guardian. Minus 127 at the crib for the guards. That's now moved to minus 135. I was kind of doing the carnival barking thing. I thought this price was wrong earlier on. Minus 135. You're starting to maybe miss me a little bit. I think the Padres are a good baseball team. Michael King also 337 ERA, 117 whip. The indicators are a little bit mixed. The disciplinary stuff is a little bit mixed. Too many walks. And the KBB a little bit lower than we'd expect from a guy like King, who has shown us big strikeout stuff in the past, where Williams is, and I hate using hyperbole and shit or exaggerating, but for my money, Gavin Williams might be the best pitcher in MLB like today, right? Like today. He's on the short list, yo. The last 30 numbers for Gavin Williams are so fucking insane that I was like hemming and hawing. He's also one of the best road pitchers, home pitchers in the game, right? One flat whip, 26.5 KBB. That I was like doing the audible sigh thing that I do when I get frustrated. I'm such a bitch. I'm like, I have to redo this. Because again, all the data kind of hangs on a very thin sheet of ice, right? One mistake, the whole thing collapses. All the different sorting, all the different time frames, it comes from different places. Plus, I'm not that smart. And I was like, oh man, I had to have fucked this up. Look at these numbers. Gavin Williams last 31 and a third. He's a .64 whip, a 168 expected ERA, a 148 Sierra. When you get that kind of agreement on those two indicators with a 41 and a half KBB, 41 and a half, I cannot stress to you. I cannot stress to you what that is. Like, it's peak Randy Johnson, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, it's the best pitcher doing the best things that you've seen in a 30 inning fucking stretch. He's been absolutely phenomenal. That said, King is pretty good, and I think the Padres offense can hang and bang with the guards, right? Padres have kind of been doing the thing a little bit. Again, it's hit and miss. I don't love the back of the lineup, but Jackson Merrill is humming. And funny enough, Kyle's Claude bot had Manny Machado on the hitter list, and I was like, "Yo, your fucking AI shit is gangster." Well, I have a leash on mine. Like, I have that X'd out. You know what I mean? I get this question a lot, and it's not infallible. But hold on, let me do this because I think it was TV Jones. Shout out all the Sauce crew. I think it was TV who asked me. Which again, this is really a perfect microcosm of how sharp that crew is and why I really do appreciate them as kind of handicappers. A lot of people in the space would never ask questions about process. How do you get there? Being frustrated. And he was very open. Like, he was saying he was getting caught up with hitter props. And I was saying, my first thing is don't be too cute. The carrot on the stick for player props is people hunting individual matchups. More important than the individual matchup is the sample size. How do you get to the sample size with the proper implied team total in the first place? So you'll notice I never have base props up, hit run ribby props up, almost ever, for teams modeled for 4.25 runs or below. Now, I'm being a little bit strict, but I definitely wouldn't do it modeled under 4, especially if you're a favorite at home, right? And those are all the things that eat away a quarter of a plate appearance, eat away a third of a plate appearance. And then, you put it together, what do you got? Fucking bibbity bobbity boop. And you might be asked out of that extra opportunity, right? Opportunity being the commodity that we deal with. Yo, Leechies, what's going on? Greetings to you too. The nose up in a bitch. Jackfish says, anyone else watch Josh's show on TV instead of the phone? Definitely give it a look sometime. I can see how that would be beneficial if you like to look at the sheets. Like, if you're into looking at the sheets at the same time, I could get you. I'm sorry to be giving you the fucking faccia bruta. I'm sorry to be giving you this fat fucking grill piece. That's a shame, man. It really is. Not all of us were blessed in that manner, but again, we do the best we can with what little we got. Guardians, however, back to I'm trying to get back on track. Guardians, what do we love here? And this was the center of my play for believing in the guards. Yeah, Jack, you take the good, you take the bad. Or you take them both, what do you got, right? The fucking facts of life, being fat and ugly. Guardians' discipline has been really good. And since they've added pieces, you got a little bit of a new look between acquisitions and IL returns. I'm starting to believe a little bit of what we see, right? I want to see more in production. Here, check out the L7 for the guards before we move on. And now, the top of it, this is why I struggle to face the Padres and pay any kind of juice, because they've been hitting. Now, they're a good this is funny. They're a good representation of a high WRC plus, right? I didn't mean to say WRC plus is never a good stat. That's not the case. That said, I believe in this a lot more. Pulled, hard hit balls, leading the league in barrels, tons of fucking WOBA, 820 OPS, average without BABIP plus steals, right? So the underpinning stuff, the way that I think I build the tapestry is a little more predictive than WRC plus. I should take a fucking stab at building my own. I really should. Maybe I'll do that in the off season. Like, I think I can. Again, I'm not as smart as these people, but I think that I can build maybe something better for betting purposes, right? Maybe something better for betting purposes. So I'm on the damn fence because the Guardians bullpen last thing has been terrible. Guards have a 6.4 ERA, 184 whip, 285 batting average allowed across 42 and a third innings. What the fudge is going on over there? Meanwhile, Padres have kind of reassumed their top spot as one of the best pens in the game. And I don't know. I'm like stuck here, man. I'm stuck. I really want to back Williams because I do like him, hoping that the guards can just get the king, right? We mentioned he offers maybe a few too many free passes. But I don't have a ton of confidence in the face of a price that's moving against us. I think that's where I'm at. Jeff L. really quick has Baltimore and Tampa, both teams to score 2 and 3. Like that. Me, Reiki, very much. Yeah, no shit. Again, you want to be checking the live comment section here. It's like there's shit here I never thought of. Who the fuck was talking about these no home runs through 3 innings? What the fuck is that? That's a crazy bet. That's like a market you want to be looking at, especially if you're in line with the data and the sheets here. Like, yo, man, Hachi Machi Liberace, give me that shit all day long. Next up, it's the Bronx Bombers, the Pinstripers. You know I love the Highlanders. Garrett Cole and the bad guys on the bump as minus 150 favorites north of the border to face Shane Bieber Fever, driving all the Canadian girls wild. Maple syrup soaked panties, assuredly getting flung at the stage. Plus 137 dog at the crib for the Bluebirds. I think our Source Network crew was backing Toronto here. I'm going to disagree. I like the Yankees. I don't want to pay the price. I also like the under. So let's see if we just do this one really quick. I don't know. I don't know what people want from Garrett Cole. I think everyone finds him unlikable. Right? I think he comes off as unlikable, and it's just easier for people to not like unlikable people. I'm a fucking scumbag from Brooklyn, and I like unlikable people. I do. Unlikable people are generally my type of folk. They're daring, they're challenging, they're crass, they're obnoxious. Like, who does that sound like? Plus, under the hood, with the underlying or underpinning stats, I'm going to back it up a little bit. It's been good for Cole. 21 KBB, 29 swing and strike with elite command and control. Always the thing we're looking for first. It really, even before velo, when it comes from returning from injury, is your control. 32 ball, just a 5 walk. You know, that's how he butters his bread. Cole, of course, loves to work up in the zone. It turns into home run sometimes. Do you trust the Toronto offense? I do not. Bieber, the macro stats are starting to fall apart a little bit. But if I'm not mistaken, he got shellacked. And like, that's not a good way to do this, right? It's not predictive, right? Using blowups is not predictive because the sample is still pretty small. Now, let me see if I'm jumping the shark a little bit. I do have the game log here. Yeah, I mean, he gave up 5 at Philly. He gave up 4 at Washington. He's been really good at home, especially if you forget the first start. We're always throwing away the debuts. Really quick under the hood for Bieber, because again, we like, before we make a move, we want to see if we believe in what we see here. 4-seam first. The velo is not great. It is what it is. He probably needs to throttle that pitch. He's throwing it too much because it's not great at this point. He used it to set up the changeup. I'd like to see a little bit more disparity in the velocity, but it's been a very high performing pitch. But I think that's why the whiff rate's a little bit low. The curveball has been, whiff inducing, but he's hung it a little bit. I'd also argue he's been a little bit unlucky on the batted ball stuff. So I think Bieber's fine, actually. I don't think he's great, but I don't think he's fine. I think the Yankees' offense is kind of whack. They strike out too much, swing and miss too much, lose in zone. That's not great against the wily veteran. And Toronto's offense really is one of the worst hard-hitting teams in the league. And then they're chasing a lot. I think that's a league worst chase rate last 2 weeks versus righties. Also looks like a league worst barrel rate. That ex-con that I was mentioning before is at 316 through 300 plate appearances. That is otherworldly bad. Be hard-pressed to find a number that low. They're just doing no damage with the stick whatsoever. Yankees bullpen's been very good. Toronto bullpen has been a bit of a mixed bag. They've gotten production, but they've been really lucky. Check this out. Toronto is running a negative KBB, right? Walking more batters than they've struck out through nearly 60 innings. However, 4.5 barrel, just 3 home runs in that same time frame is why they've produced. But you're walking a fine line, my friend, expecting those underpinning stats to hold. So I was mentioning the other day, it's probably not that smart to bet a team plus and under because theoretically all you're doing is betting the other teams under. But at plus 250, I think I like that. I think the Yankees scratch it across. I think their bullpen carries the day. And I think this 8 is a little bit, I think the 8 is a little bit too high. Market does not really agree. The U8 is at minus 115, which means it's probably not going to change anytime soon. Next up, we got D-backs. I'm saying the D-backs. It's the douchebags and Brandon Pfaadt on the road. I mean, this is fucked up. The biggest of the entire day, easily, like by a country mile, was this price. Brandon Pfaadt, since returning, has been incredible. Now, I get it. They're on the road in the dirty to face Chris Sale. It's going to be really hot for whatever that's worth. Brandon Pfaadt just can't be a plus 180 underdog right now. There's prices that are wrong. To me, this price is wrong. He's been excellent. And if you're looking up at the board and you see the 252 ERA and the 107 whip as if those are not already stellar, he got off to a rotten start. He's corrected everything. He's doing everything you could want from a pitcher that's not striking out batters. Elite first strike rate, elite ball rate, elite walk rate, elite ground ball rate, elite hard hit rates, elite home run rates. He just shouldn't be that big of a dog. Pfaadt has been the best version of himself lately. And Chris Sale is doing the damn thing. I mean, he is a mean motherfucker. Him too. Highly unlikable. My kind of guy. My kind of guy. So, do I think Arizona's going to win? No, I don't. But Arizona's really hit left. I mean, that's the other part of this plus 180 cap that's hard to wrap my mind around. Let me bring it up to the top of the board. Arizona versus lefties last 30 days. I mean, they're batting 301. Single-digit KBB, single-digit swinging strike, top 3 chase rate, winning in zone, putting the ball in the air. Now, they haven't really hit it hard, and that's a tall order, I should say, against Sale any day. I think my point is more plus 180 should be dog shit struggling team with a replacement starter. I just don't really get it. Let's see if we can get a price on the F5s. It wasn't listed last night because I think Pfaadt wasn't confirmed last night. What's going on with the MGM fucking lacking right now? Really unusual. Yeah, they don't have. That's like the second or third game I looked for that I couldn't find F5 price on. I think this is a perfect spot for an F5 price. We might do the same thing we did with Kansas City the other day and do a blend bet on the same game F5 because the pricing is so ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get a live line. I haven't fucked around and done the line shopping thing in a long time. This one I think matters though. Okay, so I'm seeing plus 120 getting the half run, plus 180 on the F5. And I mean, the Diamondbacks bullpen's even pitched pretty well. I don't think they're as good as Atlanta. Again, we're on the road. The problem with the F5 is focusing on Sale, which is scary. I really like the F5 to getting the plus money. I think we could play this one to a 0-0. I think we can go under the 4 easily, where the Diamondbacks maybe even up 1-0. Again, this is part of the thing. I try and train myself, even after handicapping literally tens of thousands of games, betting on thousands of games. I still have to tell myself, any fucking thing can happen. Like, there is no game that can't be 1-0 after 5. Tell yourself that. When it becomes a price thing, in which case, if you're into the numbers and our work at all, you got to get on Arizona. You just have to, or like, what are we doing here? Can't believe it because I love Chris Sale. It's what it is. Next up, it's the pickle George Kirby on the bump for the M's, plus 109 dog down in the Lone Star State to face Peter Lambert and the Astros. What the fuck is going on? Me and Toast were joking, like, do we have this kind of influence on the pitching markets? Yeah, no one else was talking up Lambert besides me and him. Nobody wanted fucking Lambert. Now he's a favorite against Kirby while the Astros offense is firmly in the fucking shitter. I mean, it's not going to get much worse than this. You thought Seattle's offense was bad? You thought Seattle's offense was bad right now? Playoffs. The Astros have completely floundered right now. They're going to be back, and it's going to be in like a big spot. Someone's going to hit a walk-off home run, and they'll take off. But for right now, Peter Lambert, I don't think should be a favorite against George Kirby. There's not a ton here. Maybe this one I like F5 also. Again, Lambert is good, but not great. Kirby has potential to be great. He's been good last 30. I mean, so is Lambert. Again, I'm not trying to throw dirt in this guy. A lot of my arguments are price-based in this arena. Let me back it up to the disciplinary stuff. I mean, he walks too many guys, doesn't get enough cold stuff over, or at least Kirby's got the elite command, plus the better elevation. This price is, to me, is just a little bit off. MGM, I'm giving you one more fucking chance. Let me see if I can find that F5 price on this one. That are just, okay, they are listed. Yeah, you're getting plus money to get Kirby F5. Astros bullpen is elite. Why challenge them? The Mariners bullpen is okay, but they're struggling. So this one, I'm actually going to change because it wasn't listed to Seattle F5 plus 110. Also, shout out my guy Toasty. That second one is his play. I didn't see that listed, but I think you can find it. Meaning he paid up a little bit of juice to get the F5 to under 4.5. I like that one. I seriously like that one also. No shit. Plus money says, fought that. Fought him. Fought him. Crazy Ghost says, at least appreciate you, brother. No, Strill Damas, the nose. F5U 4.5 minus 120. Favorite bet of the slate. Again, the early bird gets the worm. And the Sauce Boys are manging on fucking worm meat nightly. Seriously. Friday is my least favorite day to bet because it's the only time I'm up at midnight looking at lines to see how much they've moved the next day. It just is what it is. So shout out my guys. They're really doing a thing. Yeah, I'm taking the Mariners F5. I also, again, if you can get a good price on the 4.5, I'd be about it also. Next up, we got Royals at Angels. It's Seth Lugo versus Grayson Rodriguez, minus 110. Both ways, totals at 5 and 9. The book has no idea what to do with this one. If you put a gun to my head and ask me if Seth Lugo was a good pitcher or a bad pitcher, I would say Seth Lugo is a good pitcher. Something is going on. Maybe the age curve finally got him and he's not a good pitcher. Maybe he's hurt and hiding something. Again, if Kansas City was competing for anything, this guy would be pitching in fucking Tuscaloosa right now. There's nothing here. Same for Rodriguez, who at one point was the most highly touted pitching prospect on the fucking planet. He's been disgracefully bad, but do you trust either offense? I don't. One worse than the other. Two of the worst sets you're going to find. I did the cop-out thing and played over or nothing. Angels bullpen has been a little bit better as of late. The Royals bullpen is not, and they're forever going to afford you a shot at an over. Now, I wonder if one person in the back of the class is like, well, what about team totals? They're both 4.5. They're both plus money. But I think with the potential for a fail point on both sides, I think I'd rather just be on the 9, right? I'd rather just be on that 9. I hate the need the 10th. If you could find a well-priced 8.5, that's another one I would pay the juice for. Because again, when we have these model scores, hey, let me bring that up. When we have these model scores, both team modeled over 4.5. Jeff, I don't know what the both teams to score them looks like here, but like obviously this is another one. I'm sure they tax those. It has a 9 total, right? We're not necessarily reinventing the wheel. But yeah, I'm on the over. I wouldn't really look for a side here. I think maybe LA wins. They've been playing okay, but I don't know. I wouldn't fucking bother with that. Next up, Rangers at Athletics. This was kind of funny. Kumar Rocker on the bump for the Rangers. They're right around even money on the road against Gage Jump. Make you want to jump. Looking to bring a house of pain for the Athletics. Minus 115. Oh, it's jump around the house of pain. Oh, come on, John. Oh, man. My 90s self will never forgive me. I don't know, man. I like Kumar Rocker. He's a fucking walking disappointment. I also like Gage Jump. He's been, I can't believe, I was taking strays for saying that Gage Jump is a good pitcher. Again, I'm fading this one. I'm not interested. I treat Sacramento the way I treat Coors, which is unless there's something that really stands out, I'm out. If the book is non-decisive, so am I. Again, Rocker has upside. He fails certain innings. Can't do that in this ballpark. Jump is a guy I wanted to look at. Okay. Everybody was just sandbagging this guy. And for me, Jump is the clearest case of the one spot I do look at home road splits, which is Coors and Sacramento. Gage Jump at home, 6.16 ERA, 170 whip, 13.5 KBB. That's not good. Gage Jump on the road, 260 ERA, 118 whip, and a 19.5 KBB, which is stellar, right? He's, if I'm not mistaken, he's putting up some money starts too, no? So if that's going to be the case, where other smart people are not buying Jump, the thing that I see is let's wait for him to be an underdog and smash the F5. Right. Live to fight another day. There we go. Correct answer, survey says. I don't know. Model has the Rangers to win by a cunt hair. I don't know, man. I don't know. And funny is, another last red flag before we move on is a lot of times I get a signal for an under in Sacramento and Colorado. It's just hard to get them there. Sacramento doesn't get the love that Colorado does, and maybe it should. Especially we got the wind blowing out today. But yeah, that scares me. I was thinking in my head, like, ooh, Rocker and Jump. Maybe we like the under. Nah. Not today, Kimosabi. Next up, Brewers at Dodgers. Shout out TV Jones. Oh my gosh. He was up all night. Rock out with the cock out, stick out with the dick out, hang out with the fucking wang out, baby. Shout out to Cheesemakers getting it done against Edwin Diaz, who shit himself in front of 45,000 screaming fans. Robert Gasser on the bump for the Cheesemakers, plus 160 underdog against Yoshinobu Yamamoto and the Trolley Dodgers. They have the bullpen emoji. I think Diaz will be available, but do you really want him? Vesia 3 of 4, Henriquez 2 of 3, Dreyer 3 of 4. They threw the kitchen sink at the Brewers yesterday and didn't get the job done. Those are always a bad sign. What do you think of Gasser? I'm not sure. He's a highly volatile pitcher. Sorry about that. So Gasser, 4.57 ERA. I think I'm with the indicators that like him a little bit better than that. My personal indicator is the only one below 4, which gives me a little bit of hope, but it's not super encouraging. Not enough swing and miss, but he's been very good with command and control. He's very good at getting ahead. I don't love the fact that he's force feeding a 92-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone so often. It has really worked. Hitters have had a very hard time getting around on it, and he forces a lot of pop-ups. I like that, but it also leads to home runs, which is, of course, a struggle anytime you're facing the Dodgers, who to do everything well. And the Dodgers are in a little bit of a lull right now. Even there, like the Dodgers' low as far as the sine wave goes is probably like midway through some of other teams' peaks. So it's very hard to say, attack the Dodgers offense. I don't think that's a sharp play. You can see Dodgers v. lefties, really, it's a strong split, man. They're not taking walks, doesn't matter. Gasser ain't offering them. So if you're going to be aggressive, putting the ball in the air, which is what the Dodgers have done. They've hit doubles, they've hit homers. I think Gasser's going to give up a couple. So I'm not so high on the crazy price for this one. Again, Yamamoto is such a big dick player at home. Like, he's very, very hard to back. Also, Brewers offense, a little fugazi, right? I would imagine the righty stuff, it's fucking gross, man. You see him sometimes and you're like, wow, Jackson Chourio is a ridiculously good player. I mean, like, he is mad young, too, if I'm not mistaken. Chourio's like 21 or 22. I'm almost positive. Shit, now I have to look. I hate getting that stuff wrong. I'm almost positive he's like still a baby. He's 22 years old. He's fucking 22. He turned 22 a few months ago also. So he is a freaking superstar in the making. The problem here, they just lost Cooper Pratt and now Terang down. Terang also one of the most underrated players in the game. Not quite the ceiling of a Chourio type of guy, but wow, one of the guys. I don't want to say anything too crazy, but one of the guys on a short list. If I was building my organization, and I'm a fucking stickler, right? Stickler for a tickler. Terang's on the short list of guys like I'm building a franchise around. They can't all be 40 home run guys. So I'm a little bit on the fence here. I think I wound up on the under. Yeah, and obviously some people in that sharp sauce community were on it also because it was a solid 8 last night and it went down to 8.5. I've been on a lot of Dodgers unders if you haven't noticed. I think they carry a little bit too much kind of gusto. Now, I'm seeing 7.5 on the board, but with that, the under 7.5 is even money. So I'm sure you could find an under 8 for like minus 112, I bet. Maybe minus 115. Jeff L says, Gasser sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Yeah. The little girl with the curl. That's what Michael Kay on the Yankees broadcast says. He's either really, really good or really, really bad. This is really funny. I got to get this one up on the board. Yo, San Antonio, my boy. Good to see you, kiddo. Says, I've never seen Field of Dreams either. F. Kevin Costner. I don't know what Kevin Costner did to deserve that. But yeah, I took a beating for not seeing that. I've seen the other ones. Like I've seen The Natural. I've seen the Bad News Bears. What are the other classic baseball movies? I don't fucking know. And then all the little, Major League, of course. And like, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. And even though I loved baseball growing up, I just thought that was, I don't know. I think it came out and I was like a little kid. So I thought it was like dry and boring. And then I hit a point where I stopped watching TV and it didn't make the grade. I don't know. Maybe someday. And like my little guy doesn't really give a shit about baseball. So if he ever gets into baseball, maybe we'll watch it. I don't know. Maybe when I get older, I will. Yo, Brum is world. I appreciate it. I'm a real one. Yeah, no doubt. Listen, if anything, right? If anything, I'm a real motherfucker, yo. Let me tell you something. That's why. Oh, dude, nose. I never seen it. Bull Durham, never saw it. Sorry. But that's the truth. I'm a real one. It's really part of why some of like big fantasy, they don't fuck with me. I'm a little rough around the edges. maybe they looked up my criminal record. Fucking motherfuckers. Fuck you guys. Fuck you. Yo, I'm good now. I'm good. I chose the good life, man. Hot wife, good woman, beautiful kids. I give up everything for my family. I don't give a fuck about going out and getting wasted anymore. I don't give a shit about that at all. I just chill with the fam, yo. That's all I want to do. Anyway, all right, last but not least, but before we do it, of course, thank you for supporting the show. It means a ton. Before we get into Rockies and Giants, support good people doing good work. I put a lot of effort into the show. And look, right down, look, there's a little bit of there it is. There's a little bit of fucking proof. I'm always trying to improve. I think the banners are a huge improvement. So even though that guy is a total fucking shitbag and he could suck my balls, it's a rude prick, I still will take criticism. Again, I've been surrounded with like scumbag criminals and felons my whole life. Like you have to see the good in people, or I wouldn't know anybody. Maybe that's a New York thing. Excuse me. Yeah. So if you're into the data, any of the models and the tools that you've seen, remember we're doing the same exact thing for football. The football stuff is, you know what's funny? I don't know. I had someone that, like, ask me which I thought was more valuable, and it's a really good argument. The baseball's every day, so it's just a sheer ridiculous amount of work I'm saving you, like a massive amount of work. But the football stuff, it's so difficult. I might even say impossible to find the stuff that I have for less than I offer it. And then, like, if you're doing with pop ups and you have to scrape and you have to, like, format, and then you have to do that every week. I don't know, man. Like, if you're, I don't know, like I said, if you're a quarter serious about this shit, check it out. Sign up for a month. Right now, it's perfect at MLB and NFL. Just see what's going on. I'm going to have Theo Greminger of RotoWire in the chair. Talk about big fantasy, but my dude is a real one. He don't give a shit. He's a real one. He's a real one. He's not going to blackball me. So check out the fantasy football content. Sign up for the fucking data. Don't be a cheap bitch, yo. All right, last but not least, man. Kyle Freeland on the bump for the Rocks on the road. Plus 109 dog in San Francisco to face Landon Roop and the Gigantes. San Francisco treats are minus 130 at the crib. I kind of like San Fran to win, and I caught a little bit of a beating, though I think everyone else was just off it. Maybe because it was 2 in the morning, it was a little too late for that shit. I think Roop is an order of magnitude better than Freeland. The bear argument for the Giants is their inability to hit lefties. I would say, how do you cure that? Face Kyle Freeland. I mean, the Rockies' offense is okay. I guess the Giants' offense is really bad right now. And again, that would not to shit on those guys. You know they're the best. They just didn't think Roop should be a favorite. And I don't think it's heavy enough, actually. I don't know. I have a third of a run differential with Colorado modeled slightly under 4, which is an indicator. We have a home team, minus 130. I mean, generally, I'm like into this. Model also is over the 7.5. I didn't know you notice it went to 7.5. It's a juice 7.5, but 7.5 nonetheless. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Giants win, but I guess if Colorado scrapes something across on Roop-a-Loop, you can come too, man. Bring your green hat. Like, maybe I can't be too surprised. Because the bullpen shitty also, right? Giants bullpen sucks. But the Rockies bullpen sucks. I don't know. If there's not a tax on the I mean, you're actually getting a better deal on the full game. It's minus 120 for the first half. And maybe that's what I like. I think that's what I like. Give me minus 120 Giants F5. And we get out if it's fucking pushed and we don't have to rely on the bullpen. Because I think we scratch one across on Freeland, and I think Roop is the far better pitcher here. All righty, everybody. So that'll do it. Thanks for picking up what we're putting down here at Corked Stats, the fastest freaking show in MLB, NFL, whatever, absolutely anything. Appreciate you all so very much. It really means the world to me. Yo, thank you, Nose. Yo, Spoons. Spoon Man. Yo, shout out my guy Spoony. Him, TVJ, the sports scientist, of course, fucking Toast, and Kyle. These are the people you want to be listening to outside of here. Also, Spoon, thank you very, 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 very much. Thank you very, 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 very much. John's got some great football data. Beats a Claude subscription and Fighting with Hallucinations. Okay, I love Claude. You have to know how to harness it. I wouldn't use it to try and get this kind of data and then format it. Again, not just to auto glaze and jerk myself off, but I got you. Like, look at it. The drive metrics, the macro stuff, success rates, and EPA, man versus zone splits, positional stuff, all the pressure stats, tackle success, splash plays. It's very hard to beat what I got right now. It really is. It's awesome. So enjoy the games, enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. Remember, when you work this hard, winning.